So, this is for anyone who is dealing with heartbreak, a heartbreak that you feel like you cannot recover from. All right, so um, I remember when I was when I was dealing with my first daughter's father, and I remember talking to my mother, who is no longer here. I remember talking to her, and I was so hurt over his actions, and I was so hurt over how things were going. And I was dealing with resentment and frustration and hurt. And I remember asking my mother, I said, Mommy, how did you cope with the divorce between you and Daddy? Like, how did you overcome that? Because I just remember seeing my mother go through it with such grace. And and she never, when it came down to his birthday or their anniversary or something like that, when we were older, she would be like, don't forget to call your daddy. You know it's hard for him around this time. This is the time that this is our anniversary date, or this is that, or hey, don't y'all forget his birthday. His birthday is coming up, so call. And she would do that even though they went through a very bad breakup and divorce when I was about 7 or 8. So I'm just like, Mommy, how do you deal with that? Like, how did you become so like graceful when it comes down to him, and how did you forgive him? And I remember my mother saying, I just remember saying to God, have mercy on him. And then she would just thank God every time she would think about it, every time she would feel, bad or, hurt over the situation. She would just say, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. And I do recall her just when I was younger and throughout my life, just always saying, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. My mother handled everything with such grace, and we never saw her just distraught over things. And so recently, I went through a heartbreak, an unexpected heartbreak by someone I really care about, and just didn't expect for the way that he went about things. I didn't expect him to go about it like that. And I was really distraught and really hurt over it. And I just remember thinking back to that advice that my mother gave me. And I decided I'm going to do that. I'm not going to sit around here and be depressed and hurt for years and sitting around just wishing and wanting for somebody to come back who is moved on with their life and done. Because I know I did that for 2.5 years after my husband, and I was just like, I'm not going to do that this time. I'm not. As much as I care about this person, as much as I love this person, I am not going to sit around and just be, and spend years, just hurt over it. And so I started, it was some days after it happened, I decided, you know what, I'm going to take my mother's advice. So I prayed to God and I told him, hey, I don't want to be hurt over this for a long time. And I don't want to be distraught over this. And I don't want every moment that I wake up to be just full of misery and pain and regret and hurt, you know. And so I prayed to God and was just like, this is what I want. And this is what I want in the next person. If this isn't the person, then this is what I want in the next person. And I just remember praying, and then anytime after that I thought about it and I felt stupid over it or whatever, I just started to say, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. Like I've seen my mother do for so many years throughout my life. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. I thank you, Lord. I thank you, Lord. Every day it got so much easier because I'm the type of person who I can kind of just hold on to hurt and just feel stupid about it for years. And this time I was just like, I'm not going to do that. And do you know, every day has gotten so much sweeter. Everything has gotten so much easier doing that. I can feel myself recovering quickly. And I have taken my mother's advice and done this before in a previous situation years back when I had my divorce, when everything was going on with that or whatever. And when I finally chose, I'm done with this and I'm about to move on and I'm not about to hold on to this. I mean, it happened. It felt like it happened overnight. When you make up your mind about something and you talk to God about it, and then anytime you feel any opposition to that, you thank Him for it, He takes notice and does begin to move on your behalf, because that takes faith, and faith without works is dead. So one thing you have to do, yes, you have to have that faith, but you have to also have the actions that match with it. You also have to constantly just be like, counteract those bad thoughts that come in and be like, Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. And then you have to be determined to not be down on yourself and be like, well, what did I do to make this person leave? Or what did I do? Listen, sometimes it's not about you. Sometimes they're battling with something within themselves that don't got nothing to do with you. And so you can sit around and tear yourself apart because they didn't give you no explanation of why they upped and jumped and left or did whatever they did. You can torture yourself like that, or you can choose to say, I am not going to do that this time. I am determined to be better than I was yesterday. So whatever I did do in that situation that wasn't right, I can learn from it and be better in my next situation with my next person, with the person. Do you understand me? You know, things happen quickly when you are not resistant to the change and the good that is coming. If you want to sit around and be miserable, then do it. But that's a choice. But if you want to recover quickly and move on and not allow that thing to make you bitter and not allow that thing to change you, then follow these steps. Pray to God, let Him know what you want. Pray to God, let Him know what you know what I mean, what you need and what you expect going forward. And every time you think about it, say, Lord, I thank you. Anytime you feel opposition about it, say, Lord, I thank you. And when I tell you, if you just, I'm telling y'all, it's been times where I've had to say, Lord, I thank you about 100 times back to back to back to back to back. Because that's how stupid I was feeling about it. Because that's how hurt I was feeling about it. Let me tell you, those times where you intensify that, Lord, I thank you, Lord, I thank you, Lord, I thank you, instead of beating yourself up, instead of thinking the negative thoughts, let me tell you, that just speeds the process up. But y'all gotta have faith. You gotta combat the negativity. And you gotta understand that not everything is about you. Sometimes it's within that person. Sometimes they're dealing with things that ain't got nothing to do with you. And them removing you out of their life just is something that they felt like they needed to do to lighten their load or whatever it is. Regardless of what that is, you cannot worry about that person and what they got going on. You need to concentrate on you being better and getting better. It's all about healing, you guys. And come on with me on this healing journey, because let me tell you, I've had to heal over family after being homeless. I've had to heal over friends who I thought was friends and wasn't. I have had to deal with, a failed relationship within this time. So y'all, let me tell y'all, just keep the faith, but keep the affirmations going and keep thanking God for the things that you asked Him for, and you will see it